Hello, my awesome project managers. Those of you taking the PMP exam everywhere, welcome, welcome. It's another one of these awesome lessons learned where we're here with our friend Marisol, who aced the PMP exam recently. Woohoo! How do you feel, Marisol? You got no idea how excited I am. It was like yesterday, you were sitting there in your office and we were starting and you're like, my goodness, there's so many books. Which book do I read first? It looks like just yesterday. How do you feel?
I know. Relieved.
Woo!
Relieved. Relieved,
Oh, I'm happy.
grateful. Couldn't have done it without you, Phil,
Oh.
and the team, I have to say.
Oh.
Previously I planned to do this 2 years back, but the studying was all on my own. So I thought that I was just going to take this on, on my own with my time. And it didn't work. I never took the exam. Then I let my application expire. So that was like a huge lesson. I was like, okay. So a year later, the master class, someone buzzed in my ear about this great master class. And, some trepidation at first, but then I'm like, you know what? Okay, let's do it. Let me just do it and get it done. So I started January 8th, and my commitment was that I wasn't going to go past 3 months. Wow. So on March 28th, I signed up. Well, I signed up for my exam on March 28th and took it then for the first time and passed it, thankfully.
Wow, congratulations, Marisol. Really exciting. And our friend Carlos, he must have been happy.
He was so happy.
He was.
Yes. Yeah, he was. Carlos, a former student of Phil's that I worked with for a while. And he said to me, you need to sign up for this masterclass and get this PMP. That's it. Wow. So he was the buzz in my ear. And then I don't know, I guess he gave me the kickstart, the jump start to just get it done. And then I think it was really all the classes. It was, the videos, the practice tests. I warmed up always more to the Agile book, maybe because it's a smaller book,
Smaller.
Right? It's a smaller book. It's more, but PMP, 6, I've had for a while. So I've read through this book. Some of it has been fast, just skim through it. Some of it you go back and you really hone in and read through it word for word. It just depends. But that the book is just overwhelming, right? It's this big book with a lot of content. So we have to be prepared for both because we don't know what we're going to get at the end of the day. Just to dive in a little bit into my exam, I felt that my exam was more predictive and more hybrid.
Wow.
It did have Agile.
That's crazy.
And it did have Scrum.
Hybrid.
But I leaned more, with my group that I'm still connected with, the girls, April and Chandra and Solange and Anne and Paige, and I see Anne on. It's crazy because we talk a lot about what did we go through, and then you get hit with, okay, look, I've got all these predictive questions and hybrid questions, and then Agile, Scrum. So it was a little bit of everything. But I got that exam that leaned more on hybrid. Wow. And it was similar. It seems like Solange's feedback as well from her experience. Seems like we were close to that particular exam configuration. Then the, I got 90% Agile in mine.
That's crazy. That
wasn't for me. I was hoping for that.
That's good feedback because all the time, I'm like a kid in a candy store. I hear students say, this is how it was. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should get rid of this component. And then I hear someone say, no, that component actually helped me keep the predictive stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
We need to know it. Maybe I'm sure there'll be a time when it's more across the board, less of it, but it seems like it's still out there because I got one of those.
Wow. So what would you say was the most contributing factor for you to be able to handle anything they threw your way from people, process, business, agile, hybrid, predictive?
Now, I took the mock 3 times
Ah,
and I was about to take it a fourth
wow.
when I just said, Marisol, just back off, just let it go. Let the fourth be the real one, right?
There
But
you
I took
go.
the
Good.
mock three
Good.
times, and that really helped me. I
Mm,
feel just to, one, the time,
mhm,
just adjusting to the time of it. Two, the type of questions. Um, what would the PM do next? What would the PM do in this situation?
right.
What should have been done in this
Mm.
situation? So you get a lot of those. I got a couple of sliders.
Okay.
Let's take some of
Yeah.
so I got a couple of
Yeah.
those, but everything else was, some of my questions were rich in content. So you have
Verbose.
to, yeah, very, very. So you have to, so I found myself reading,
Mm,
rereading some of the questions, throughout, to make sure that I use the highlighter, I use the strike through
hmm
to
hmm
just focus on the questions that I needed to answer.
Good. So tell me, you went to test center, right?
Yes, I did. I went to the test center, and that's the best thing I did, because it was better for me to just get it done there in that focused environment.
Mm.
Uh, and I should have taken all my breaks, but I didn't. And I think I was just so, you get really excited slash nervous slash everything, and
How
you
many
just want to
breaks did
get
you
it done.
take?
I took a 5 minute just to run to the restroom,
Wow, just
drink some
one
water.
break. You didn't take the second one?
No, no,
Wow. Did you
I
run out
didn't.
of time? Oh,
I will tell you that my timing was like right there. I did not go back to review anything. I didn't. I flagged some things, and then I realized that I was just rereading some of the questions because some of them were just, you know, too verbose.
wow. So
So
if you
kind of slowed me down a little bit, but I answered every single question on my exam, with probably, a couple of seconds under.
Mm.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the ITTOs that everyone is freaking out about and saying, "Oh, I need ITTOs, I need ITTOs." ITTOs, I mean, how should you relate to ITTOs as a student?
You need to know what feeds what and what gets created from what, right? You need to understand that at a high level. You should understand that as a project manager. There are some questions ITTO related.
Hmm.
So page 25 to
Oh,
me
wow. Hmm.
was heaven sent. That was
Wow.
a really good, yeah, I looked at page 25 a lot,
Wow.
and not, trying to memorize it, but you just know it. You learn it by just looking at it so much and reviewing it, out loud and in the order that it is. So that helped a lot. Chapters 1 through 3, right? Just that whole, PM and structure and governance, that is key as well. Um, there was scope questions, charter questions, stakeholder management. Um, and again, it just touches on, communication a lot, right? Uh, Virtual versus co-location, face to face, which is important. And we know that from Agile as well as predictive, that it's just more effective to meet face to face. And we know that from the Agile Manifesto, which also was sprinkled throughout the exam,
Mhm.
right? So Agile Manifesto, the values of Agile, that is key. You need to
Mm.
know those, and the more you read them, the more
Yeah.
they, you retain,
Mm.
that information.
So Marisol, just to give quick high level, and I know we're running out of time here, but just taking a look at mindset versus rote memorization. If you were going to give mindset and memorization different percentage weightings, what would it be? Would it be a 50-50 mindset and memorization? Or would you say mindset is more important than the memorization?
I think mindset, to me, mindset
Mm.
is more important.
And what,
Mindset.
give it a weighting. Help me with a weighting.
Yeah, I could go, I mean, I don't
Nine,
know,
is it
60, 75,
okay?
up to 75. Mindset is very important. And it's reading through this. It's not, it truly is not the memorization. It's too hard to memorize this.
Mm-hmm,
We
mm-hmm,
need high level understanding because
mm-hmm.
we're never going to get a question that's going to be, you know, you're not going to get the specifics that you'd like to get, the simple worded questions. You're going to, everything is scenario based. So if
Mm.
you have the background and you understand it, the
Mm-hmm,
concept, you're
mm-hmm.
going to be okay.
Lovely, lovely
Yeah.
stuff. Marisol, in getting to the close, I want people to begin sending in messages, asking questions. But I want to ask the study group, because you folks, what a study group.
Invaluable.
You
That
folks were
was,
awesome.
oh,
So,
that's one of my favorite parts here. It didn't only end with you, Phil, but this incredible team that
yeah,
we continue to this day to
aw,
meet, and now, you know, supporting April,
lovely,
Anne, and
lovely.
get, you know, just supporting her, you know, for the end of the month readiness, which she's
Yeah,
already ready.
yeah.
Look at April. Yes, I mean, I love these girls, and
Mm,
it's just
aw,
that was incredible because everyone helps you by talking through things. You're
mm-hmm.
also retaining, learning, you're questioning things, and it's a safe place to do it with a lot of support and encouragement.
I love it. Yeah, yeah. You folks, and you made the class fun as well. The class was just fun. I love the chemistry with you folks, and it was just great. I wish we could mimic that, take a little bit of that special, whatever the solution is, and sprinkle it on everyone to become a collaborative. You folks were the epitome of a collaborative agile team getting PMP done.
That is awesome. It is. It's really hard to do this alone.
Mm.
And I go from my experience the first time in preparing alone. It is.
Hello, is it just me? I think PMI didn't like collaboration being used. They thought we were cheating. They said no
I mean,
collaboration
it's
on
just,
PMP. Oh, you
yeah.
froze for a second, Marisol. What
Oh,
what did you say?
yeah. No, I was saying, oh, it was about collaboration, right? It's just that it's really hard to do this alone. It's
Mm,
a lot of information. And when you break things apart, if you don't get it and you break things apart with someone else, you can do that.
mm-hmm,
You can
mm-hmm.
do that. And your confidence is also built up,
Yeah,
which again, it goes back to mindset, right? I mean, I'm not going to say that I was not nervous. I was
mm-hmm,
really nervous. I
mm-hmm.
was. And I had to take a deep breath and get my angels and everybody to come with me to take this exam. But I heard, I mean, April was with me in the exam and Chandra was. You hear them in things that we talked through.
Yeah.
So you're really not alone even in taking the exam.
Absolutely. I love it. Come on now, keep the questions coming. So Lovelace, um, Anne, Allison, Francis, come on now with the questions so we can get our PMP guru off the call. Come on now. Unmute
Let me,
yourself and ask.
yeah. So, the agile, retrospectives. I mean, just know the key things about agile, right? I got, maybe Scrum of Scrums and know that as well. Kanban, know it. I do not come from an agile background, and I thought I got very excited about agile and learning
You
agile, and
did.
it finally started to click.
Uh-huh.
I've been working more predictive for a long time, and that continues to be my role today, or slightly hybrid, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you've got to know these big things that Phil highlights, he's highlighting them for a reason.
Thank you, Marisol. Come on, my friends. Questions, things bugging your mind.
This is lovely. Congratulations, Marisol.
Thank you.
You have me all hyped. You and in your line.
Oh, that's so good.
So giddy. I am so giddy right now. It's incredible. So from a risk perspective, how many questions approximately were sprinkled through the exam?
Not,
Okay.
not many,
Good.
because I honestly, I'm not even, risk and quality weren't really that prominent in the exam.
And you got to remember, it's different, Lovelace, for everyone.
It really is. Understand risk, Lovelace. Just get the concept around risk, and that's it, and move on.
Okay.
Get the concept of quality and move on, because it's there's a lot of people information sprinkled in, and some business sprinkled in as well in the exam. But the questions really they're not going to pull the questions are worded in such a way that as long as you know the concept, you're going to be able to answer it. And I questioned my responses. Let me not say for a minute that I did not. Okay. Full transparency. There was some that I was like, yeah, okay, let's go. But some that I was like, and then it's like, you know what? This is what I think it is. And I got to move on. I just have to move on, because I can't, you get stuck, and you have to keep it moving. You're going to answer the best. You're going to answer, your response is going to be the best response that you believe that it is, even if you question it, and you're going to move on, because you have to. Because you're going to get stuck with that time. I tried not to look at the time, and I tried not to look at the time with my mock tests as well. And then at one point I was like, OMG, OMG. Yeah. So I didn't, that's why I didn't go back. I went back to, there's two sections. I went back to unflag and said, I can't read through these. I did the best in these answers. I got to just keep it moving, because I was not going to miss answering one question.
Awesome. So I take it you pretty much stuck with your guns. Whatever your initial response was, you kept it.
Yeah. And you can flag. You start off flagging. I started off flagging. And for part 2, I didn't flag one thing, because I'm like, I do not have time to flag. Some people may go through it faster. I think Chandra was one of those that went through it faster. And, we all test differently, right? I read and reread some of these questions because they were long, and get rid of the fluff, which is, highlight those key
Half
words.
the battle.
And yeah, that is, it's cleaning up these questions where you actually hone in on, oh, this is what they're asking me for. This is what we're trying to solve.
Gotcha.
Great. So from a tactical perspective, or from more tricks to the trade, how many hours a day would you say you dedicated to studying?
So we studied a lot. And when I say we, because
what's a lot?
Our study team, we met 3 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. So we would meet Monday, Tuesday, Thursday for up to 3 hours, sometimes even more. Okay. So we kept that up. That to me was part of my studying right there. Okay. And then on the weekends, I would, go through these practice exams, the 25 questions. I even did the 50 Agile question. That was a great test to me. I read and reread the Scrum guide, because it's 11 pager and it's like 1, 2, 3, and it's an easy peasy one, right? And then I think the last week was when I was like, let me just dive more into the PMBOK. right? Let me just
I love three. Okay.
refresh, just refresh. And, the girls were saying, well, like go easy, right? I mean, there was the day of, right? The day before, you're supposed to take a break, this and that. I didn't take any breaks, but in retrospect, I probably should have, right? Because I didn't sleep much the night before.
I was just gonna say
You
that.
gotta try and feel fresh as a daisy. I didn't feel, I was like, I was on a mission to get it done. That was it.
I can see myself pretty much doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Even if I don't study and I take the break,
Yeah.
I'm going to be consumed with it. I'll feel
Yeah.
as though I'm missing out on something if I don't
Yeah.
take the book to peruse through or
Right.
something. But
Just do
to your
something every
point,
day. I think it's great to do something every day. The few times that I didn't do something on that day, I did more the day after, right? But because it is an incredible commitment, right? It
yeah,
truly is. And that's why it goes back to what Phil says, get it done. We have to get it done because we can't have this drag on. Like I refuse to drag this into April. I was like, there is April 1st, I am done. Whether whatever happens, I'm done.
yay.
Right?
Yeah,
'Cause we
April
want to
April
move
is my
on.
cutoff. End of April is my cutoff.
There you
So
go.
excellent.
That's it. Yeah. So just just keep the window tight so we're not too comfortable then and we start to loosen up a little bit.
And to retain what we've learned over, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Now I can go and read other things, novels, this, that, other things.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Marisol.
I'm really so glad you're here giving us lessons. It's like it's a dream come true. All four of you from that first class, you set the pace, you set the tone for everyone else coming along in 2022. Yeah. Allison, any questions for our friends? Our friends.
Marisol, did you get a chance to reset? You read each question, or sometimes you just had to look at the answers and try?
Oh no, toward the end, I was looking at answers.
Okay.
Oh yeah. You see, you start to change, right? You start off really good, very organized, very. This was me, and then it was like survival.
Oh my
or
God.
mode, like just get this done. And I started looking at I was like, oh yeah, because my clock was, and again, I don't know, maybe I didn't look at the clock enough then I was like startled.
Yeah.
I finished my exam and I had to raise my hand for the facilitator to, I guess he had to do something on the computer, whatever. And I looked at my hand and I guess my hand was just shaking a little bit. And you get the decision right there. And I was like, can you read that? That's right. This is good, right? I was like, I was in such a high, I think, that I was like, that's pass, right? I passed.
That is great.
So I'm so glad that they do that they did just let you know, because it would be torture to walk out of there not knowing.
We got a good question from Francis here. Allison, do you have a follow-on question?
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
Good stuff. So Francis in chat says, how many questions would you recall were seemingly stubborn or untouchable?
I don't know.
Were there any terms that you're like, I have no clue what they're talking about? Were there anything like that?
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, we even got I had a couple of leadership questions. I was like, really? I wasn't expecting that. I'm just glad that I knew it, right? And no, I think just because they're long questions, you get caught up in the words, right? You have to. And I think for me, that's what it was, right? What words here am I going to focus on? But I found myself reading the question again and then reading parts of it and highlighting. So, not every exam is like that, right? And it's good to be prepared for anything. These mock exams, I'm going to take it back to the mock, right? The mock has questions that are, some of them are rich in content and others are like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Some are pretty wild and far
yeah.
out.
Yeah, some of them
Because
are right. And they make you think and question. And, some of these answers are close to each other. Which one is the best answer, right? Yeah.
And I like what
Answers
you
that
said about the study group bouncing off each other. And
You need to do that. You need to talk through things. And I think that that's what really helps. It's just talking through things and understanding what truly is the next best thing to do, the next right thing to do based on PMI, right? Not based on what we do at work day to day, because what we do at work day to day varies.
yeah.
So we can bring now our day-to-day, what we do at work from this because of this reinforcement. And once you pass, you kind of feel like, okay, well, guys, I think we may want to change this and, more in alignment with PMI.
Good stuff. Thank you very much. Any other questions or concerns? All right. Our PMP guru has been so kind to spend some time with us. So Marisol, give us your overarching final thoughts about someone coming in new to the program like Francis, or someone who is out there saying, I don't know if I should sign up or not. What would you say to those folks?
Oh my goodness. Well, you need to sign up. That's what I say. I say sign up. I say I feel truly blessed that Carlos shared with me this masterclass. I did not waste any time, right? I was drawn to this particular masterclass with Phil and Roy. It was setting the foundation for me to get ready for this with, of course, the incredible team that I have and these study groups after the classes. So that LMS, everything that's in that LMS is valuable. I mean, we started to carve things out. Let's focus more on these areas because there's so much in the LMS, but we really are given the tools to prepare to take this exam.
Wow.
Thank you. We just need to dedicate the time.
Absolutely. And honestly, we're going to be coming to ping you because I think you folks know the LMS more than we do. More than we who created it. You know it more than we do. So thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for coming. Go enjoy yourself. I'm so proud of you. I got to say, I'm mega proud because I know how it was when you came in at first. And I'm on a cloud. I know I'm seated, but trust me, I'm on a cloud. I'm high right now.
So good. Phil, thank you. Thanks for everything. And thank you for what you do, really, because what you do, you share so much with everyone. And we just need to, we just need to follow your guide, your lead, and then we can get through it. Truly.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks.
Marisol.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be talking again. Okay.
For sure.
Team, I'm sure this team here has it and will have it. And Francis, jump in, enjoy the ride.
Thank you.
And
Bye,
I'll see you on
Marisol.
Monday.
Definitely.